What's going on, people? I thought I would introduce my Raider Trash build. This is actually more of a play style than a build. What I chose to do was limit myself to Raider armor and pipe guns only. Automatic pipe guns at that. And so that's essentially, I guess you could say, a challenge that I set for myself at the beginning of the game. But this is essentially built around what I call a gun fu build. And what it relies on is the gun fu perk to give you bonus damage and free critical in VATS, but it also allows for everything else due to agility that you might need outside of VATS. Now, even with just a simple silenced pipe gun, I was able to effectively handle just basically whatever in the game. I didn't have any problems in or out of VATS. But once I hit what I call the soft cap for this build around level 50, 51, and was able to pick the perk in Gung Fu that gave you automatic criticals on your fourth target and beyond, basically all that means is that you need to have a weapon and have enough VATS points available, which you do get with Lone Wanderer, by the way. With the last perk in Lone Wanderer, which you can get at 50 or 51, you get 25 free VATS points. And if you put light or ultralight on all of your armor, then you get bonus AP there, and also you get a bonus to your sneak. The lighter your armor, the better you can sneak. It doesn't have so much to do with shadowed or muffled as it does with the weight of your armor. That affects sneak the most from what I found. Even in this Raider gear, which none of it was shadowed because, well, first you can't shadow Raider armor, but even if you could, I didn't have any points in armor, gun nut either, for that matter. To put those upgrades on, it'd be something you'd have to find. Now, limiting myself to Raider armor, the one downside to this, and pipe guns as well, is that in later levels, I got some legendary drops in armor that would have fit perfectly for this build. Increased damage resistance on some pieces, and also decrease in VATS cost. I did find one Raider piece that decreased my overall VATS cost, and that helped. And then, of course, getting that last perk in Lone Wanderer also gave me some free points, and I was able to get off 4 or 5 shots with my automatic weapon. This build works much better with pistols, I think. But I don't know how much more effective it was, because my pipe gun was plenty effective. Trust me. But it doesn't mean you couldn't make an automatic 10mm or something for your build. It doesn't mean you have to limit yourself to Raider armor only. There are plenty of Raiders that you find in the Wasteland that have a piece of everything equipped. Combat armor, leather armor, metal armor, you name it. But the only thing I don't normally find on Raiders is synth stuff, which I think looks stupid anyway, so I wouldn't use it regardless. But anyway, a key element of this playstyle was to create settlements, especially considering I didn't have local leader, so I couldn't link my settlements. I had to make my settlements with whatever I could find. Just slapping together pieces of wood and old airplane parts and stuff. And so I wanted to show you a few of those that I came up with, what I consider kind of my pride and joy, where it worked. I never used the same piece of building material twice next to each other. Everything was just random and kind of scattered out, and it had that wasteland look to it. It was a lot of fun. It really was. Making your settlements look sloppy on purpose, I found, was in some ways even harder than making a neat and tidy settlement. So anyway, here's the perks that I had at level 51. Like I said, this is my soft cap. This is where you have all the optimal stuff in place to make your character work, so to speak. All right, you get bonus criticals from your fourth target and beyond, meaning that if you have 4 enemies lined up, your fourth target is an automatic critical, but your critical meter fills naturally also. And we're also spec'd into explosives, right? So everything comes into play here. We have our melee in place, we have our explosives in place, we have our gun type. In this case, I wanted to use automatic weapons in place. Although later in the game, it became a problem. The game stopped dropping 38 near as often. It was giving me a lot of higher caliber ammo, I think because the game figured, well, you'd probably have moved on to higher caliber weapons. Well, being limited to pipe guns, that kind of became an issue later on, right? But melee outside of VATS and in VATS is both effective. Notice a survivalist there. That would be one of the tankier Raiders. Okay, still one-shot him coming out of sneak. So, you know, of course, the ninja perk, we all know about that. Melee is overpowered in the game. Always has been in Fallout games, going back to Fallout 3 and possibly before that. I wouldn't know. But plenty effective. And even my pipe gun, both in and out of VATS, was plenty effective. I had really no problems with it either way. And like I say, as long as I kept all of my Raider armor at least lightweight, then my sneak wasn't impaired either. So I found that weight was the primary factor when it comes to sneak, more so than shadowed or muffled or any of that. Shadowed just seems to affect you when you're moving around in the dark. Makes you a little easier to spot. It's more of a visual thing. But lightweight, man, you can almost stand in front of enemies without being detected. All right, and this is what I was talking about, free criticals, just a basic example. Right, I would strongly recommend going with maybe an automatic 10mm where you can maybe get some more shots off. I didn't field test it. Like I say, I was sticking to pipe guns. But as long as I could get that 4th shot off, I was happy. Now, there's also bonus foods that you can use. Like, I think it's roasted Mirelurk meat and some other stuff like that. They can give you bonus AP for a short period of time also. And you keep some of that handy and you're good to go. But anyway, I did not trigger this critical. This critical came on its own. I could have triggered my own critical also. So if you have, say, 2 really high-level enemies back-to-back, save them for your 3rd and 4th target, trigger your critical on the 3rd, and let the game automatically give it to you a free critical on your 4th, just for example. So that's the gun fu build. It's more effective in that sense with pistols, in that pistols get off many more shots than VATS, and you can one-shot a lot of enemies with a pistol too. But this made automatic weapons fun, and I felt it fit the whole Raider theme a little better, although I had strongly considered running with just shotguns too. But, that's up to you. Anyway, the whole thing is mainly keep Raider gear, right? Don't mod anything for yourself. Just pick up what you can find, and then pick a weapon and just roll with it. Make all your settlements like Raider settlements. It was a lot of fun. And we'll do a proper gunfu build also besides this, and we'll run it with a pistol and let you all compare. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. And if you want to catch the Fallout 4 playthrough, click that image in the middle. All right, y'all take care. Bye-bye.